Costa Maya has one of the nicest cruise port areas I've visited in Mexico. But once you've left the port, things can get a little strange. We encountered a pushy taxi driver, skipped the crowded restaurant, and then somehow ended up eating street tacos beside some people getting a butt massage on the table next to us. So is Costa Maya worth exploring outside the cruise port, or are you better off staying on the ship or inside the port? Let's talk about it. Welcome back to Mountbound, where we help you cruise smarter and know what to expect before you arrive. On this trip, we visit Costa Maya, Mexico. Costa Maya is on the Caribbean coast of Yucatan's peninsula, and it is near the small town of Mahahua, and not far from the border with Belize. Unlike Cozumel, Costa Maya is located on mainland Mexico, and I've heard mixed opinions about this port, so I wanted to explore it for myself. Both inside the cruise port complex and outside Mahahua, and the two areas gave us two very different experiences. The first thing you may notice after getting off the ship is that the pier at Costa Maya is long. I mean, really long. Thankfully, there was a trolley available, so instead of walking the entire distance in the heat, we rode it down the pier toward the main port area. Now, depending on when you visit and how busy the port is, the trolley may save you a lot of walking. Just remember, though, that you may have to wait in order to get a spot on the trolley. So allow yourself enough time when returning to the ship. Once we entered the port, my first impressions was positive. The port itself was nice, colorful, clearly designed for cruise passengers. There were plenty of shops, bars, restaurants, so you could easily spend several hours there without arranging an excursion or leaving the complex. It felt more like a contained tourist attraction than a traditional Mexican town. That may be perfect for some travelers. You can shop, grab something to eat, have a drink, and enjoy the atmosphere while staying close to the ship. But the highlight for me was something I wasn't expecting. The flying men. We saw 4 men climb a very tall pole, tie themselves to ropes, and spin upside down as they slowly descended toward the ground. At the time, I couldn't remember what this was called, but it was the ritual ceremony of the Valedores, sometimes called the Dance of the Flyers. It is a traditional fertility ceremony performed by several indigenous groups in Mexico and Central America, particularly the Teutonic people. UNICEF recognizes it as part of the intangible culture heritage of humanity. Watching them circle the pole upside down was easily the highlight of the cruise port area. Now, there were plenty of stores and restaurants, but this is one of the experiences that made the port feel different from a standard shopping complex. After walking around for a while, we decided we wanted to see what was located beyond the cruise terminal, nearby a town called Mahahua, which is only a few miles from the port. It has a beachfront area with restaurants, bars, shops, places selling massages, and beach services. So we walked outside the port to find a taxi. This is where our experience became frustrating. We were originally told that the taxi would cost $5 per person. There were 3 of us, so we expected to pay $15. But when we reached the taxi, the driver said he would not take us less than $20 because we didn't have 4 people. What made that even stranger was we were already sharing the taxi with 2 other tourists we had never met before. So the driver had 5 paying passengers in the vehicle, but still demanded at least $20 from our group. The difference was only $5, but it was the way it was handled that bothered me. The driver was very pushy, and it didn't feel like the clearly explained price we had originally been given. My advice is to confirm the total price for your entire group before getting into the taxi. Don't only ask for the price per person, ask directly. What is the total price for all of us? That may help you prevent an argument once you are already in the vehicle. We plan to visit the Crazy Lobster because other cruise passengers had mentioned it on board. However, I heard mixed reviews. Some people said it was overpriced and the food wasn't very good. Now, I normally prefer to try a place myself before judging it based on someone else's experience. Restaurants could have good days, they could have bad days, and people don't always agree about food. But when we arrived, the restaurant was extremely crowded. Our taxi driver stopped, told us that this was the downtown area, and became very insistent that we got right out right there. It wasn't really what I had pictured when I imagined visiting a Mexican port town, but we decided to get out and look around. Since the Crazy Lobster was so crowded, we decided to skip it and try some street tacos instead. And the tacos ended up being a memorable experience, but not entirely because of the food. While we were sitting there eating, people were lying on tables beside us getting massages. And these were not private tables inside a spa. They were right beside us while we were eating. And at one point, we were essentially having street tacos while watching someone get their butt massaged. The massage was $20 to do, so a lot of people get massages when they're in Puerto Maya. I didn't get one, but I suppose dinner and entertainment were included with our tacos. That was definitely one of those travel moments you don't plan for, but you remember afterwards. And of course, it's an amazing story. Once we explored more of the area, Mahahua felt much less developed than the cruise port complex. I did not personally feel unsafe, but it also wasn't what I had imagined when I thought about leaving the port and visiting the nearby town. That distinction is important. Saying that an area is underdeveloped does not automatically mean that it is dangerous. It simply means that travelers should understand that outside the polished cruise terminal, the surroundings can look and feel very different. The cruise port is controlled, organized, and designed specifically for tourists. Muhawa is a real community where people live and work, and its infrastructure may not match what some cruise passengers expect from a tourist destination. Would I tell everyone to stay inside the port? No. But I would recommend knowing what type of experience you want if you want convenience, shopping, restaurants, and entertainment close to the ship. The cruise port complex has plenty to offer. If you want to see Muhawa, enjoy the beach, or visit a particular restaurant, leaving the port may still be worthwhile. I would simply plan where you're going beforehand and confirm your taxi price before getting into the vehicle. For us, the area outside the port was not the highlight of our day. The Valadores ceremony inside the port was. But the tacos, the taxi situation, and the unexpected massage certainly gave us a story to tell. Costa Maya was an interesting port because it showed us two completely different sides of the destination. Inside the cruise port, everything was colorful, busy, and built around tourism. Outside the port, Muhawa felt less polished and more unpredictable. Now, I am glad we explored for ourselves because that is the only way to decide what you actually think about a destination. And even though not everything went as planned, Costa Maya gave us one of the most unusual lunch experiences we ever had. Have you ever visited Costa Maya, and did you stay inside the cruise port, or did you venture out into Muhawa? Tell me about your experience in the comments below. Before you go, are you ready to start planning your next vacation? Visit mapboundtravel.com to explore travel ideas, current offers, and request your free personalized vacation quote. I'm Shane Austin, founder of mapboundtravel.com, and let's turn your next trip into something unforgettable. And remember, travel is life.